Right as that happens, who do I see walk into the store? A King cop. Granted, he was a mall cop, so take that how you will. But I tell you what though, that gun on his hip, boy, that shit was real as Now, before we get started today, I'd like to thank today's sponsors, Guns of Boom. Guns of Boom is a first-person shooter available on your mobile device. It's a super dynamic game and very easy to play. It features a ton of different weapons, maps, customizations, and game mods. I mean, it's been downloaded over 40 million times within the last year, so obviously, people must love it. It's constantly updated with new content and in-game events like the new Danny Trejo tournament that's active right now. However, it will be ending on June 14th, so install the game today for a chance to play and also receive an exclusive Saw Squad starter pack including a Dark Stalker helmet, armored jacket, Panther pants, a machine gun, and free gold for your initial download. Thank you again to Guns of Boom for sponsoring this video. The download link is in the description box down below. Let's go. I swear to God, man, no matter how hard you try, I think that children always eventually turn into their parents. To some degree, right? All the things that my parents did and said when I was a kid that I hated, I find myself doing and saying the exact same things as I get older. Perfect example, my mom is the kind of lady that does not put up with bad customer service. Now, partly that's because my mom's just a strong ass black woman that doesn't take shit from anybody, but also because she's worked in HR for almost her entire life and knows exactly what good customer service looks like. So whenever some employee catches an attitude or gives her bad customer service, she doesn't hesitate to let them know. I used to hate that as a kid. I would often get embarrassed and think to myself, I would never draw attention like that to myself in a public setting. But recently I had an incident at Shoe Locker where I found myself doing that exact thing. An action that resulted in the cops being called on me. So here's what happened. So the other day I went to the mall to go shopping, and I don't shop too often, so when I do, I spend a lot of money. And I know I shouldn't, like, I really be spending money I don't need to, but I went from being really broke to really not broke really fast, so mistakes. Anyway, among the things I purchased, I got a pair of blue and white Jordan 1s and a pair of Air Force 1s from Shoe Locker, of which the Air Force 1s I wore out of the store. I went straight home, took off the forces, threw them in the closet, and went on with my day. The next morning, I woke up with a bit of buyer's regret. You see, I didn't really want the forces, but the salesman at Shoe Locker was gassing me up, so I was just like, fuck it. But by the morning, I had changed my mind. So I go to Shoe Locker, I show the guy the receipt, and then he takes the shoes and inspects them. And of course, the bottoms of the shoes were dirty as a result of me walking out of the store to my car the day before. He looks at me and says, hey bro, I can't give you your money back for these. They're not in resellable condition. So then I'm like, but these are brand new though. But then he's like, yeah, but these are too dirty, bro. I mean, how would you feel if you came to buy some new white sneakers and we brought these out to you? So then I was like, huh. True. So I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. So what are my options? So then he says, well, I can give you store credit. And then I was like, And so then he said, or you could take the shoes home, clean them, and then I'll take them back and give you your money. So then I was like, oh, for real? All right, let's do that. He then shows me what shoe cleaner to get and gives me instructions on how to clean the shoes. Cool. Now, this means I have to spend another $20 on shoe cleaner, but I figure getting $70 back is better than no dollars back. So I take the shoes out to my car and give them a proper scrubbing, and by the time I was done, they were pretty white if you ask me. So I go back to the Shoe Locker, but now the manager on duty was there as well. So he takes the shoes, shows them to her, and then she's like, no. And I could see she had a little attitude about her, but I was like, all right, your life probably sucks, so whatever. So then I say, so am I not getting my money back? I mean, these are definitely cleaner than the floor model. And then she's like, yeah, but they have to be pearl white, like perfect. And then she points out to me all the tiny imperfections that I had missed when I cleaned the shoe. So I was like, okay. And then the guy says we can still do an even exchange if you want, but I was like, nah. You see, now I was too invested. I'd already sunk an additional $20 in like an hour of the day into making this return happen. I wanted my god money. So I drive 30 minutes home and spend like 20 minutes meticulously scrubbing these shoes. I got these shoes so white that when I put them on, my credit score went up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I made my way back to the store yet again for the third time. And as I walk up to the counter, I can already see that the manager was not happy to see me again. So the guy takes the shoes, shows them to her, and then she rolls her eyes. And then with her back turned to me, she signals to the guy to return the shoes, but she did it by fanning her hand. Now, I might not have been trained by the CIA on how to read body language or anything like that, but I've been around sassy women long enough to know that this motion basically says, alright, just return the shoes. This is being annoying, right? That's what that says, right? So now I'm like, is she mad at me that I'm trying to return the shoes? Like, I just followed your employee's instructions. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at him for telling me that I could just clean the shoes and return them. I'm definitely not the asshole in this situation. Anyway, they reluctantly do the return and give me my money. So now I'm a little f***ed up, cause here's the thing. It's not like if he had just straight up told me that I couldn't do the return from the beginning, I would have given him shit about it. I would have just been like, alright, but he put the option on the table, so I didn't appreciate the fact that they were treating me like I was the asshole who was trying to get him to bend over backwards to do the return. So the guy hands me the money, and then he just doesn't say anything. No, have a good day, no peace out, no, don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out. Nothing, just handed me the receipt and turned around. So I walk out the store, and as I'm walking to the car, I'm like, what just happened? How am I the douchebag in this situation? So then I was like, nah, they ain't gonna treat me like that. After they made me take the shoes back twice to clean them, fuck out of here. So I walk in and I ask to speak to her. She comes over and I respectfully voice my dissatisfaction. She then basically tells me that I was wrong to interpret her tone and body language the way that I did, and that she has done nothing wrong. So now I'm like, bitch, what? And then dude over here decides that he wants to play Black Panther or something, as if his manager can't handle the conversation and she needed saving. He might as well have said, Veronica, do not worry, I will handle the situation. So then he turns to me and he starts trying to make me feel like I'm being a dick for coming back and voicing my opinion on their service. He's cutting me off, raising his voice, gesturing defensively, and the whole time, I'm being pretty calm, partly because I worked in retail for 4 years and I know that if a customer starts yelling and making a scene, they have the right to kick the customer out of the store. And I didn't want that, but also because I just didn't care enough. Like, I wanted an apology, but it wasn't like I was genuinely upset. It was more about the principle for me. And by principle, I mean,
I ain't taking disrespect, little nigga. Straight up, put a couple holes in your neck, little nigga.
So then the manager leaves and just goes to the back, completely ignoring me, and then homeboy starts dialing up volume. He's cutting me off more and more, ultimately telling me that 1, I'm tripping, I got my money back, what else do I want? 2, I can just go shop at Finish Line instead of Shoe Locker if I have a problem. And 3, if I have a customer service problem, then I should just go call customer service, because they're not going to be giving me an apology. So now I'm like, this nigga is a moron. Eventually, the manager finally comes back to the floor and starts to talk to me, because by now the guy's being so loud and is so upset to the point where you can visibly see him hyperventilate, because nothing makes someone more upset than realizing the person you're shouting at doesn't give a fuck. So she starts to ramble at first and explain herself, and I just stand there poker face because she knew what I wanted. Eventually, she apologizes for being rude and that it wasn't her intention to come off that way. After which, I promptly accepted her apology and said thank you, that's all I came back for. Right as that happens, who do I see walk into the store? A f***ing cop. Granted, he was a mall cop, so take that how you will. But I tell you what though, that gun on his hip, boy, that shit was real as fuck. I turned to her and she's like, oh, I had to call the security. I didn't like the back and forth that was going on between you guys, so I just wanted to make sure that someone was here to stop things in case they escalated further. You wanna know what the sad part is? I wasn't surprised. Genuinely, when she said that she felt as if she needed to call security, my initial response was, oh yeah, that makes sense. It wasn't until after I already left the store and was walking back to my car that I was like, hold up, this chick just called the cops on me and I wasn't even yelling. What on earth could have made her think that things were gonna escalate further? So much so to the point that she felt as if she needed someone with a gun to be on the scene. And then I remembered what I look like. I'm a large black man with earrings and tattoos who doesn't happen to speak like this all the time, which automatically must mean that I'm unintelligent and thus incapable of maintaining a conversation with someone whom I happen to disagree with. Of course, it was only a matter of time before I punched Black Panther in the face and then proceeded to crip walk over his body, right? That's obviously what was gonna happen next. That's what it means to be a young black man in America. Right? So I see the cop, I tell her thank you for the apology, I shake her hand, and I promptly leave the mall. Because best believe that I will be damned in hell before I let this pot-bellied mall cop make a hashtag out of me because Shoe Locker doesn't want to train their employees on good customer service. So that's the story. I'm not going to say where this store was or their names because I know how shitty retail is. And I have no intentions of getting anyone fired because they made a mistake. But best believe that this is the last time that I will ever shop at Shoe Locker. I'ma take all my business to Finish Line because technically it was the Shoe Locker employee's idea. Moral of the story to all of my young brothers and sisters out there, watch yourself. Because we live in a world where your very existence may be perceived as a threat to some of the people who reside among us. And it may not be fair, but it is our reality. And we have to learn to work with the way things are while we do our best to try and change them to the way things should be.
Sauce is forever.
Got lost in the sauce. These niggas they hate. They mad that they late. Ice water like a lake. Diamond shining never fake, yeah. Niggas talking shit, but I'm making money, no time to conversate.
I'm dripping in sauce. Don't act like I know her. Niggas be lost. These niggas be so hurt. I'm taking off. These niggas be so hurt. I'm dripping in sauce. Got girls on my shoulder.